Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yes! Yes! It's Operation Status Quo. Can you tell I'm excited to see you? I'm so happy to see you and be here with you, for you, together, the beautiful people of the world. Hold on a second here. Let's get our music out of the way. And I didn't do an Ayo. Ayo! Come on, we're on Ayo. There you are. Okay, good. Excuse me. How we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? Did I say that already? I don't know. I get so excited. You know how it is here on Operation Status Quo, because this is a place to like really get into your feelings and feel good and feel love and feel happy and know that you're in control of your life. Yeah! Hey-o. All right, I am Pete Palma. I am your user-friendly host. This, of course, is Operation Status Quo, the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, most importantly, you know the deal, ladies and gentlemen. You have to create your own flow of quo. Yo, because that's the only way to go. And remember, if you're not living your flow of quo, you are most certainly living someone else's flow. And that is the no-no here on Operation Status Quo. Why do you want to live someone else's flow? Look at what's going on out in the world. Do you want to be part of that? Is that what you want to do? I mean, it's up to you. You can do whatever you like. It's your choice. It's your life. But remember that you have the power to create whatever you want to create, because you are the creator. The creator. You're the creator. You can create what you want to see in the world that you want to be. So go be it. Yeah. Go do it. Hey-o. All right. Is that inspirational? I don't know. Maybe you're thinking, how did this guy escape the parameters of the mental institution of where he was being safely housed away from the general population? But I keep myself away from the general population, so don't worry. I don't seem to do well with that. Anyway, so all right. So yeah, I said all that. I wanted to say too, though. Remember, with living your flow of quo, you got to let me know, what are you doing right now, this very minute, this day, today, right now, as you're breathing? What are you doing to create your own flow of quo? Let me know in the comments below. This is what I do to create my own flow of quo, amongst other things, but this is part of the quo of my flow of quo, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you have the flow of quo too. So, let people know out there. Let's build together and share the ideas and what everything's going on and, what everybody's doing, outside of worrying about what the mainstream world tells us to do and how to behave and all those type of things, how they try to formulate our thoughts, our opinions, our minds, like molding our minds like little balls of clay, right? Like a dough, like they're baking a bread. All right. So today's Thursday. I missed yesterday. I'm just gonna start with this, so I then I get into where we're set, and then I go back, and right, because we go all over the place, because this is the live stream of consciousness, and that's just how we roll here on Operation Status Quo. But yesterday I had the privilege of sitting with Nasa and Jay Marie over at Hands in Motion Music School of Music School and Productions. Anyway, and they're working on my website as well as the release of my my next song that's coming out. So I had a meeting with them yesterday, and I'm gonna try here at the end, once we get through a little bit of my mania, I'm gonna try to see if I can show you the website a little bit, because it looks so cool. I'm so happy. I can't wait to share it with everyone out there. But there's still a few tweaks. It's being worked. It's not it's not done yet, but I can show you maybe just a quick blip of it so you get the idea of what's coming. So I'm excited about that. And of course, the new song "Let It Begin" will be released probably towards the end of April. So we have a tentative date. It looks like around the 24th for that, and the website should be out in about a week or so, a couple weeks maybe at the most. So we're getting close. We're getting close for all the revamping of what's going on here with Operation Status Quo, with me, Pete Palma, with the New World stuff. The whole gamut, gamut of nonsense that I do on a regular basis. But I love you guys out there, those who support me and those who enjoy what I do, and thank you, right? Okay, all right, you're sitting here listening to me ramble on like you always do. I don't know why, but I appreciate it. I love you. And here, I give you a little blow of the whistle to show my enthusiasm and gusto for all you put into taking the time to be part of what I'm doing here. So, poor people out there. All right, hey, ladies and gentlemen, today is the second. That's another reason I couldn't come on yesterday. Yesterday was April 1st. My whole show was like an April Fool's joke. You know, I can't come on April Fool's and do my show. It's almost like a paradox. So, anyway, what was I saying? Today is the 2nd of April in the good year 2026, and today's program is entitled To the Moon, Alice, right? Because they just launched that new moon mission. I got to say, let me show you this. Let me do this. I can do this right now. I actually was able to see the launch yesterday from out back of my home. Okay, so I'll show it to you. Let's just turn it around. There it goes. Oh, hold on. See it? It's hard to see a little bit looking like that. Let me see if I can get there we go. Let me go back. Hold on. I'll do it. I'll do it again. There you go. There it is. I keep going the wrong way. There you go. See that? That's pretty cool, right? Anyway, that was the launch yesterday of Artemis 2. Yeah, I don't know if you ever remember seeing, when I was in school, I had to read the book To Kill a Mockingbird, and then they also showed us the movie afterwards. So, when I hear Artemis, I keep thinking of the movie To Kill a Mockingbird because they were always going, Atticus! And so instead of Atticus, Artemis, right? You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? This is how we operate. Do you understand? Do you understand what's going on inside this head of mine? Do you? Hey-o. If you do, please let me know, because I'd like to have some sort of insight myself. This way, maybe I can work on some of my issues. But anyway. So the big launch yesterday, and it's funny because you know how we talk here on Operation Status Quo. We can't believe what the mainstream world is telling us. And I found it interesting, too, with that video, too. If you notice, like the rocket's going up, and then it curves over. And I'm sure they'll give there's some sort of science BS that they would say. But I'm just looking at it thinking, well, why does it just not go straight up? I mean, if it's going into space, it should just go straight. Why is it like, rounding out? And then people like up the East Coast, like people I know like from Jersey had pictures that they had seen of it. And I'm like, why is it going to Jersey? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Listen, here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they didn't shoot a rocket or anything, right? I'm just saying we're not told the truth about what our world really is and what the parameters thereof are of our Earth and everything. Like, even like when I watch astrology, some of the astrology people I watch, they keep saying like stuff about all the planets orbiting and how far away they are. And they talk about the moon being a rock. One guy always says the moon's a rock. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, what do I know, right? I just go by intuition. That's the whole point of how we really should live life overall. Like, why do we, and I'm not trying to go on some rabbit hole, but I'm not saying the earth is flat, okay, or all that kind of stuff. All I'm saying is that we do not know exactly what's what. And like, just the way they talk this thing, like, I mean, I don't know. I look at this all the time. I see the moon, I see the sun. They don't look that far away. I'm just saying that, again, intuition speaking, not what we're being told and what we're like programmed to believe. I'm not saying what's right or what's not right. I'm just saying when you look up in the sky, and I've said this on the show a bunch of times, like the moon and the sun, they're like the same size basically, right? If you can't look at the sun because it's so bright, but I mean when it's clouds or something, you could say, well, it's like, they're both kind of like the same size. Not saying they are the same size. I'm just saying generally like they are in a way, right? Sometimes the moon gets big, right, because it's lower and it looks bigger or whatever. The same thing with the sun sometimes, right, when it's setting or a different part of the sky, whatever. But you know what I mean, right? And they look fairly equidistant. Like, it doesn't look like, you wouldn't think that the sun is like how many millions of miles away or whatever they say. Even this thing to the moon, I'm like, the moon's right there. I'm looking up in the sky. The moon's right there. And they're saying the 10-day mission, it takes this many days. I forgot what they said, how long it takes to get, and then they do like a loop around, and they get they get the thrust and the gravity, and it pulls back in 5,000 degrees coming back in the Earth's atmosphere. I don't know. I'm just saying it's all distractions. And ironically enough, that they did do the launch on April 1st, which is April Fool's, right? You know, which is kind of funny too, because it's almost like saying, ha ha, like, you dopes believe this. And again, they shot a rocket, right? I mean, I saw something shoot up in the sky. So they shot something, but it doesn't mean it went into space. Like for me, I would just feel if it's going into space, I should like be able to see it. It just disappeared, like, you know, went up a little burner, and they make it like it's shot like Mach 30 or some whatever thing, you know, and then like, I don't know, it just vanishes and it's just, but it didn't go straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't you just go straight up? It's like the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line if we want to use science. So why are we, going in circles? But then, of course, they'll tell you the Earth is spinning at this rate and it's traveling and you got to ruin the aurora. It's like, oh, it's so super complicated. I don't really think the universe is that complicated. Again, I go back to, me always talking about there is no such thing as time or space in a sense, not meaning that our physical reality doesn't feel like a physical reality, but in a deeper regard, it's not really here, right? It's like a manifestation anyway. Maybe in some way, the planets are real far away and all that stuff. Like, if you look deep into an atom or whatever, right, it looks like it's space and all that stuff. It's like, I don't know. It's just goofy to me. And then, everybody gets first people to the moon. And what did they say? We got the first. This was really funny too. One of the pilots on the moon is African American. So of course they're saying the first black to go to the moon. And I just thought that just how stupid our news is, right? The things that our mainstream society talks about and the way they play it up. They're all, how everything's like so serious. Oh, the first African American to the moon. And I'm thinking like blacks have been oppressed through history. Like they can't get to the moon. Like they're all sitting there like, what's up, man? How come nobody let me go to the moon, man? I want to go to the moon. What's going on? Where's the moon, man? Somebody get me up on the moon. Hey-o. Yeah, think about all the stereotypes like from horror movies and stuff. Remember Eddie Murphy even did that movie with, did that bit back with his stand-up back in the day when it says like, white people will hang out in the house when, a horror movie, the house is like whatever, the walls are bleeding. It's like, but the black guy be like, fuck that, I'm out of here. You think maybe black people are smart. They don't want to get shot up in a rocket up to the moon. But anyway, they say that kind of stuff. And it's supposed to be a first woman too. I thought there have been women up in space and all, but I don't know, whatever, and then a Canadian, it's all these like big deal, this and the first this and the first that and the rah and the do. And, I don't even know, like going back to the moon being a rock and, everything else with our, let me just couch it with this first. I believe like more multidimensional. I don't know how that plays out in physical perception, but I don't really believe that things are, I'm not saying it's not in some regard, but I just don't think we're spinning around, shooting through space. Everything's haphazard. I mean, maybe in some sort of way, like it could be perceived that way. I'm not going to discount anything, but I certainly don't believe like the mainstream way narrative, like what we've been taught, the structure, this and that and the other of how everything is. And I just don't see it that way. So, and the same thing with the moon. I don't necessarily think the moon is, the moon could be a gazillion things. Like a lot of times it doesn't even look solid really, right? Think about how many times you can see up where you can see through it, basically the blue, like, and the white, like the way you can, it's like almost looks like kind of transparent and stuff. I'm just saying this crap, right? I'm just saying because, when something happens on the news that way and they make a big deal and it's the big story that everybody's got to see, it's such a distraction, right? And not to mention that everything that's going on. Oh, we got potential spam. These are I get all my best calls come from spam. It's like, why not only do I get spam all the time, you guys got to interrupt me during my damn show. Now, I'm speaking to the spammers out there. At least have a little courtesy and spam me when I'm not in the middle of talking to the beautiful people of the world. What the hell's the problem? Hey-o. Thank you. So anyway, Yeah, when they're telling you a story of where to focus, and they make it like this big, the way they're doing it, human ingenuity and the great technologies, and I don't know, it's just a weird thing. I'll tell you what, when they come up with the whatever the day that you can go take a vacation up in space, then I'll find out, because I'll do it. I want to go up and see what the hell's going on for myself, right? So that then I can know a little bit better. I want to see Earth from orbit. Okay, I think a lot of you guys wouldn't mind if I was put up in orbit either. So anyway, I know it sounds crazy. I'm really not saying anything like I go through life. I don't. I'm just trying to say, like, I gotta laugh at myself because I just think these things, right? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just offering perspective. That's what Operation Status Quo is about. We're just, we're observing life, and there's always a multitude of possibilities. I'm not saying, I always really, quite honestly, with everything, believe that it's always somewhere in the middle. Like it's everything, because to have one, just like, I like talking about this kind of subject in a certain regard, because the flat earth thing is just so funny, and like, people get so riled up about it and everything else. But again, not saying the earth is flat, but to me, that everything has to have balance. So for the universe to be the structure in the way that it is taught to us, it also has to be the complete opposite of that as well, in some regard, some form, because all energy is one. And I see everything that way. I see everything has to be for whatever could be the most good in the world. You have to have the most evil in the world. And, you see all the stuff that we're seeing today in the news and everything pretty much, justifies or it shows that's true. Whatever words I want to use to try to explain. But, yeah. Anyway, I just kind of what I'm thinking. So let's look here real quick of some of the. I did look up a little bit of this today to see if I would have any kind of facts to share of good information. But anyway, the Artemis 2 launching in 2006 is the first crewed mission. Not crude like CRUED. Is it UED EUD? Anyway, I'm dyslexic. It's crude as in a crew. It's probably pretty crude. No, that's CRUDE, crude. I am dyslexic. Hello. Anyway, if I could, please, my brain is really on fire today. I got to be honest, I've been really kind of busy this week a little bit, and my just been like, I don't know, just been out of sorts and doing some stuff. And I finally got back to do a little dipsy doodle in the pool today, which was real nice before I came here. So I think the dipsy doodle really did something good for me. And I had a really nice workout today too. Did a lot of push-ups and stuff. I'm feeling strong. You feeling strong, my friend? Call me Artemis one more time. Huh? You feeling strong? Heyo. All right. But anyway, it's the first moon mission to the moon in over 50 years. 4 astronauts on a 10-day flyby aboard the Orion spacecraft. So, why not land, right? After all this time, it's been 50 years. You're going to do all this, spend all this money, go up there and just do a flyby. I don't know. To me, it's like you'd want to stop and see what's going on. It's like in planes, trains, automobiles, where when he says, wouldn't the interstate be quicker? And the guy goes, nothing on the, you said your friend never been around here before. Nothing on the interstate but interstate. He wants to show him, what's in the, like when I went to Jamaica, I didn't stay on the resort the whole time. I ventured out, and Bali's an even better example. When I was there, we ventured out on these different excursions, as it were, to different parts and places and things that were more community and not just where we were staying for what we were doing. So, you know what I'm trying to say? Why you're going all the way to the moon? You're going to do a flyby. If I'm up there personally, I'm going, guys, it's right in there. Let's just land, right? Let's see what this thing can do. We should be able to land and take back off again. Let's see what this thing can do, right? We can do it. We'll make it happen. If not, really, the moon's not that far away. If they were able to get, what's his name back from Mars, oh God, why? See, I shouldn't even, not him, but the other one. Come on. This is where it'd be nice to have people in the chat. When my brain shuts down, I can see his face. You know who I'm talking about. But when he was trapped on Mars, they were able to get him off of Mars. If they were able to get him off of Mars, they'd be able to get these chumps off the moon if they had a little bit of a problem. It's not that far, right? And they got the space station up there. They got they got in-betweens. I'm sure they could do something. I don't know. Anyway, Yeah, first woman, first black astronaut to travel beyond low orbit, first Canadian to go to the moon. It's like, it is just so stupid when you think about it as a human. We're like a humanity. We're like first Canadian, first this, first. I mean, what the F is the difference, man? What if you found out that Canadian was like mostly like Polish or something? I don't know, right? I'm just saying, like, what, that is he still a Canadian? Just like Obama, like our first black president. Well, wasn't he that half white or something? He's not even like black. Like, anyway, please let me digress. I'm really going off on it. Anyway, the rocket, the crew will launch. Well, it did launch the 322-foot tall space system rocket, the world's most powerful and fly. Blah 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 blah. It flew distance and speed. The mission will take humans 4,700 miles beyond the moon's far side. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that's amazing. Exceeding the distance record by Apollo 13, re-entry speed will reach roughly 25,000 miles per hour. I'd like to go 25,000 miles per hour. That'd be pretty cool, right? I mean, I don't know, would your whole body just get crushed instantaneously? It's like, so yeah, the launch took place. The initial 25 hours spent in high Earth orbit, including proximity operations where the crew will fly near the upper stage of their rocket, and then going to do the lunar loop. They call it we're going to do the lunar loop. Yeah, we're going to do the lunar loop. Yeah, we're going to go to the moon. We ain't going to land. We going to do the lunar loop. Yeah, we're going to do the lunar loop. I said we're going to the moon, but we ain't going to land. We're going to do the lunar loop. Yeah, I just made that one up. The lunar loop, the lunar loop, the lunar loop. Yeah. Hey-o. I don't think I've been this excitable on one of my shows in a while. You know why? Because I didn't write. Sometimes I take little bits of notes just to keep myself on track, like, because I go on so many tangents. And today I said, F this, man. No notes, tangents galore. It's a free for all today. All right. So let's finish up on this. Excuse me. They're going to do a lunar loop, a 4-day trip to the moon, looping behind it before returning to Earth. So anyway, they're trying to get back to the surface of the moon. They want to build like something up there to be like a point of whatever for going to Mars, all this BS bullshit. To me, truthfully, too, all this, I mean, whether, all my crazy ideas of what the Earth and the sun and the moon and the universe and is or isn't and all that kind of cream. But the truth is, we've already, again, going back to all time is instantaneous. Essentially, there's no time, space. It's the same story of humanity over and over and over for all these years and millennia or whatever. Like, we've already been to all these places. There's like, the portals and stuff. You saw the movie Stargate, right? Like, there's already all this, like, this stuff that really exists, that they have. We're already on Mars. Like, you know what I'm saying? They make like, and they're going to shoot a rocket around the moon and make everybody think, look what we're doing. And it's like, people are stupid. I'm sorry, but, just that you can't believe this stuff. And just, I'll be honest, it was neat to see it, though, just because, it's something that they're talking about. And I was, and they said, with him, because I'm in the Tampa area, and was able to say within like 20 seconds of the launch, you should be able to see it. So, I went out back and said, let me see if I see it. And sure enough, this thing popped up and there it went and boo, boo, boo. And I was like, it's pretty neat, but I didn't think it was really going to the moon. Either way, it was neat to see it. It was neat to see it, but anyway, whatever they're telling us, whatever they're showing us, you see how, again, it's just like everything else. We got all this going on in the world. I'm not going to get heavy on the Epstein or Iran or anything else that's going on, but they're telling you that we're going to do a lunar loop. You know what I mean? Like, and all this attention now, focused news will be watching, and I guarantee you most of that video you're seeing of the launch is, I'm not saying the rocket's there, right? People are watching it. This rocket goes up, I know. But what they're showing you on TV is all, I'm sure, AI generated, the close-up scenes of the, all the, whatever they're showing you. It's all like, and when they're in space, for sure. I mean, God knows what the frig, the technology and everything they have to make things look so real. I mean, they fooled everybody the first time with the moon landing and made people really think that we went to the moon the first time, right? So anyway, that's it's a whole nother story. You can go down all the rabbit holes and go look at what's really going on with the moon, whether it be some sort of alien craft, whether it's transparent, whether the man with the cheese lives up there. I don't know, but you can go look. Now there's going to be black people. Now we can't even go to the moon because now the blacks are there too. Can you believe it? You thought we had one place left. one place left where we could be safe. But no. Heyo. You'll get like carjacked on the moon. Like you'll have your little like that little humbug, that little bug car they drive around. Like, and then the black and the black guy has to wear a black astronaut suit. He can't wear a white suit because you got to know who's white and who's black on the moon because you can't tell with the thing on. So the black guy's like, and then he'll come like this. You know how they walk on the moon. He'll come like this. And be like, "Yo, homie, get out the car." Yeah, I'm sorry. A little racism never hurt anybody. Oh, we got to have some fun with it. First black on the moon. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, all right. I'm digressing from all that. So the moon, it's out there. Pay attention. Artemis is shooting around up there in space and whatever the hell they're telling us. And we'll see what kind of crazy stories. Maybe they'll have a tragedy. It'll blow up on the way back. You know, it'll be a fake. Don't worry. But, you know, whatever. They'll do something maybe to do something. I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's switch gears here before I go and see if I can do this and get this computer over here. And let me switch screens. I'm going to show you this, my new website. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited about the new website. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Let's see here. Turn the computer around. Dun, 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 dun. I guess I can scroll a little bit too, right? This is going to change a little bit. Like, you know, just the layout of the wording here is going to change a little bit. Now we go down, and then that's a link there. We'll go to the cast members page. You'll see all the members of the New World. Hey, there's Paco. What up, man? Paco, man. Yeah, man, Paco. There's all the, right? And we're just kind of going down. There's me again. We got... we have Operation Status Quo. There's a link to the show here. There you go. The latest on OSQ, right? And then we come down again, and we got music for my album when that came. Oh, I'm so bad at this. When the album came out, and then the new song that's being released. So that's what we got going. I'm not going to go too deep into it. Let me see if I go to I'll just show you the cast page. Even though this is really going to change the cast page because I put different pictures and, all the names will be listed. And we, I had to add some of the characters that are not here. But, just to show you real quick that it's going to be a real fun site. Okay, look at all that. Look at all that. And you guys can play on there. You guys can hang out with me on the website. There'll be a page, for the music, right? That's going to be changing too, so I'm not going to really show you all that. But that's being worked as we speak. We have Operation Status Quo over here. We got some. There you go. That looks pretty cool, right? Welcome to Operation. I do this all the time. Let me do it. So I got to look at the camera so I can. Welcome to Operation Status Quo. So anyway, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm real excited about the new website, and I'm really excited to share it with you. How about a round of applause for the new website? That's what we do here on Operation Status Quo. Status Quo. Hey-o. So it was a pleasure being with you here today. To the moon, Alice! Maybe they'll find Alice on the moon, finally. All right, anyway, if you haven't done so already, please take the time to like, subscribe, share. Send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and, of course, those you despise as well. As you very well know, I love each and every one of you out there, individually as well as a group. God bless you, and until next time, Operation Status Quo, disengaged.
Boulevard of 10 short blocks.